What's up, beautiful people? The House put Trumps on paper for the historic second time. Houston strip clubs are running out of business because James Harden is headed to Brooklyn, and Lori Harvey is catching flack because she living her best life. But we ain't talking about none of that today. Unapologetic, unsolicited, unfiltered. This is My2Centz.
I'm good, I just be up in my thoughts, say, yeah. Don't feel sorry for me. No pity parties for me. New Benz, new Barbies for me. For the list of my regrets, no more sorries for me.
Yeah. What's up, man? I am so excited to be here.
Word.
So excited to be here. Episode 1, back for the first time.
Mm-hmm.
Shout out to the Ludacris album. But yeah, got a couple special people here with me. What you laughing at, man?
I'm just giggling, man.
I want to go to the homie, the friend, decade in. That rhymed.
It did.
Bars.
Bars.
knee deep. We call her Knee.
What up, world?
Yeah.
Hello, world.
They didn't give you no applause.
I don't need that.
Okay. We got the homie, a decade in.
It's like 13.
13 years, man. The man responsible for the intro.
Give me my numbers.
That boy Misfit Chris.
What's good? What up? Appreciate you for having me on, man.
For sure, man.
Yeah.
I'm really excited, man. This has been a long time kind of coming with Corona and all that stuff. It's been a long time coming, but you know what I'm saying? We here.
We are
here.
We are here.
We've made it.
MLK Day.
Yeah.
It's going on, man. So, I always want to make sure we give our love to the man that did so much for us.
Yeah, I agree.
Absolutely.
You know, so we want to give our acknowledgement. Happy birthday
Yeah.
to Dr. King, even though his birthday was actually the 15th. But we just gonna celebrate it the third Monday.
Yes, and you should celebrate
We
that
gonna
by
celebrate.
always watching the Boondocks episode. Like
Oh my goodness.
every time,
You know?
every
Oh, my
MLK,
goodness.
I
You know?
do that. I
That's
have
classic.
to. I just have to. You just have to watch that episode.
You know what?
It never gets better.
You know what? We're gonna have to do that.
I can't take it seriously when I watch that.
You just can't.
Look,
You got to enjoy that, man. That's good stuff.
so
I might watch that tonight.
So
I might watch that tonight.
I want to really
HBO
just
Max.
kind of get it started. Oh yeah.
Clutch.
He didn't say HBO Max. Because they're not paying us, so we're not gonna mention them. But anyway,
I'm paying them though.
You need my money?
but nah, I just want to kind of give our quick thoughts, man, on Dr. King, man. Just kind of, we can't do an MLK episode. Obviously, I had to rock the shirt, but we can't do an MLK.
It's a very nice shirt, might I add.
I appreciate
It's
you.
my shirt.
I'm
You know,
slightly jealous, my friend.
You should be.
You didn't tell nobody.
I'm a little envious.
But I did.
You did not tell
I mean, if-
nobody you was wearing that shirt.
That
You
means
never-
you need to start looking at the group chat.
So he did.
I definitely said it.
I
Come
got
on,
that
man.
habit bad.
Let's keep
But
it.
got that habit.
just kind of, man, just kind of quick thoughts, man. Like how has Dr. King and his legacy affected your life?
Well, for me, to be honest with you, my mom talks about this all the time. She talks about how when I was little, apparently there was like some church conference thing that we did, or not a conference rather. It was like a essay competition. So that's how Dr. King inspired me, because I wrote Little Martin. I did that first grade. So
That was like 1960.
Man, first of all, calm down. Let's relax. 80s baby here, 84.
Yikes.
I just appreciate Dr. King for trying.
Right.
It wasn't a lot of people. I mean, there were a few other people. You got Mega Evers, and then you got I think I said his name wrong anyway. But I just appreciate him trying. I don't want to go into too much detail about that.
I feel
Right.
it.
You
I
get a
feel
little passionate about stuff like that. But I appreciate him for trying to get us closer to where we want it to be.
I feel
So,
it. What you?
Definitely.
I mean, how you feel, Chris? I know. I mean, we have a little bit different of a perspective being men, and kind of understanding, how that kind of works now that we are men. You know what I mean?
Right.
So
I just appreciate the fact. I can kind of agree with what you said, just trying, because it's inspirational, especially as a young black man, and you're seeing how hard that it is to do everything. So just to know that somebody came before you when it was 10, 15, 20 times harder, and they went through what they went through to give you a chance to go through what we're going through today, as much as we complain about it. that's inspiring, and that's something that I really appreciate, and that's how I feel about it.
I mean, I feel for me, I'm always curious to understand how it would be now. We have conversations as if LeBron couldn't play back in the old NBA.
Right.
Yeah.
Jordan would dominate this. But I kind of look at that as what could Martin do now? You know what I'm saying? And especially in coming out of 2020 and the bullshit that year was. Kind of. How would he feel about? How would he have been? You and I were able to go to the George Floyd rally, here in Houston, and just kind of understanding where would he have been in that space? How would he have interacted? Nowadays we look anytime they need something from a black leader, we look to Obama
or our athletes.
Yeah, or our athletes, and so it's like it just kind of. Like I said, man, just much appreciation. I know we obviously don't want to go too deep
show.
into. Yeah, that's a whole show itself.
Mm-hmm.
But we want to get into the meat and potatoes because we kind of touched on it. 2020. The 2020 experience. Shout out to Justin Timberlake.
Great
album, but the year was not as great.
Not at all.
The year was not as great. I mean, so much kind of going on. I kind of want to do a rundown of events for 2020. We had a lot going on. January, Prince Harry and Meghan quit the royal family. Just like we out.
How you not gonna be my family? No? How you just decide that?
Hey, I packed my bag and I left. The 26th of January, R.I.P. Kobe.
Rest in peace.
That was
Rest in peace
that was
Kobe.
the beginning of the year. Crazy year.
Can I ask, where were y'all on that day?
Oh my God.
You know what? Kobe's death was actually on my girlfriend's birthday.
Oh no.
So I remember I was sitting in the car outside of her house because we had been together, so I didn't have time to write her card. So but anytime I do, I write the card. I write the card in my notes.
Yeah.
And so because I think a few days on the cards. I don't just put out BS cards. But so I'm writing the card in the car, and she comes outside and telling her stepdad, who's a big Lakers fan, about it. And I had just saw somebody say on Facebook, "Oh, not Kobe," and I didn't know what that meant.
Right.
And so then I opened the door. I was like, "What happened?" It was like, "He died in a helicopter." I was like, "Folks always trying to kill people, man.
Yeah.
He ain't dead, bro."
Yeah.
And then my phone just started blowing up, bing, 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 and I'm like, "Bro." I got in the group chat, and it was real, yeah.
So real quick, I had just got home from church, about to eat my Sunday dinner, and I get a notification, I'm on Twitter, Kobe died in a helicopter, and I'm like, no, this can't be real.
Yeah.
So I get on Google, I get on Bing, every search engine you could think of, I'm trying to find some details, and you slowly start to see the articles break, and I start crying.
Yeah.
Yep.
I think I was in the bed actually watching TV.
Oh, wow.
And then I wasn't doing much that day. I don't.
It was Sunday. It was a Sunday.
Yeah, I don't think I was doing anything that day. And if I did anything, I probably was at work. That was a couple of Jack Daniels ago. So who knows? who knows?
Wow.
I'm just saying.
But speaking of Jack Daniels, Trump probably be drinking Jack Daniels. But he was acquitted of the first impeachment in February. We had the first death. Ahmaud Arbery happened in February. Harvey Weinstein's verdict was in February. Stock market crashed in March. Pandemic was declared. NBA season got canceled. Breonna Taylor. We're going to continue to say her name. Was murdered. Olympics got canceled. First stimulus check was passed.
Hey.
That's all in March. Canceled my birthday. All that happened in March. April, COVID cases passed 1 million. 6.6 million filed unemployment. Trump said drink bleach.
That
This
man
guy.
never surprises.
U.S. 2,000 deaths in a day from COVID. And then after all that, Trump still wouldn't back the who said it was a pandemic.
Yeah.
So that was in April. May, we got the video of Ahmaud Arbery. Then 20 days later, George Floyd was murdered.
Oh, God.
June, they finally decided to cancel cops. And then Rayshard Brooks was murdered. NASCAR had the noose and the Confederate flag was banned. Whole Foods worker was sent home for the Black Lives Matter merch. July, Jeffrey Epstein's madam was arrested. August, Kamala Harris announced as VP candidate. We lost Black Panther. My boy Chadwick Boseman passed.
Rest in peace to Chad.
We lost our Supreme Court. Ruth Bader passed. That was in September. October.
Greatest month.
October
ever.
it started getting good.
October?
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Y'all are October babies. Yeah, that's
Oh,
right.
man.
Yeah.
October 14th. Come on. Come
Look, hey,
man. Let's do this.
That's not social
you know
distancing. That's not social distancing.
that
But Trump
We do
tested for
practice it,
positive.
it's
He,
hand sanitizer.
he tested positive in October. Eddie Van Halen died in October. The Lake Show won the title along with the Dodgers. That was in October. November, Joe Biden becomes president-elect. Alex Trebek died.
How you don't even include Little Richard, man? You know that is the king of rock and roll. Like,
Don't nobody ever give me credit.
don't nobody give it.
You're right.
You can't forget Little Richard.
I'm
man.
glad you added that in. And then December, obviously, COVID vaccine arrives. And then we just gonna kind of add it in.
They stormed the
January
Capitol.
2021, they stormed the Capitol.
Yeah.
So I mean, a lot happened in
Gangsters.
2020. Man, a lot
A lot.
happened in 2020. And like I said, 2020 experience was definitely not as great as the album. But I
Not
mean,
his greatest album.
we kind of think about. So I mean, for you, Chris, what were the 3 most memorable events of 2020?
All right, so my 3 most memorable events. The first one was Kobe dying, as sad as that was, because that was just something that still doesn't feel real to this day, and it's a year later. So that's something that we're never, ever going to forget. Number 2, because it's funny because we talked about all of these things. So number 2 for me would be protesting at the George Floyd Memorial.
For sure.
Right?
Okay.
And ironically, we were going through all this turmoil in 2020, and like 3-4 days after the George Floyd thing, I got a girlfriend. So I had met this amazing girl about a month before, and yeah, so those were my 3 most memorable
Boy.
things. They weren't all bad.
Shout out to Bree though. Shout out to
Bree.
Bree.
Love is
We're
in
all
the air.
bad.
Love is in the air.
Black love is what we want.
Yeah, so I just had to put that out there. But
For sure.
you know,
So those, I mean, I definitely, you know, I remember when you got a girlfriend. I was like, my boy.
man,
Let's not talk anymore. Let's not talk anymore.
Let's let that
let's let that moment pass.
Yeah.
but yeah, I just had to put that out there.
I feel. I mean, I think. I mean, and that's really important because understanding that 2020 for a lot of people wasn't all negative. I mean,
Right.
I won't lie to you. I had a great year.
And that's why I said that.
Yeah,
It's like,
I had a great
wasn't all
year.
bad for everybody.
You know, for me, definitely Kobe passing
Yeah.
was really big, and I wasn't even a Kobe fan, but I as far as when he was on the court, I actually enjoyed non-competitive Kobe, like his later years.
Like chill Kobe. I'm with my daughter's
Chill
Kobe.
Kobe, like
yeah.
like the person Kobe, not the Black Mamba. You know,
Obsessive,
I learned to
like,
appreciate that,
yeah.
but when Kobe would do interviews and he's like, he's really funny. Like he's
Funny,
really a cool
yeah.
funny,
dude. Yeah.
introspective. He
Like
was
I mean, and he's full of so much knowledge. Like
Right.
I
Yeah,
enjoy bro.
I
You know what I
like-
mean? And so for him, you know, really passing. Then always when people pass, you see the outpour of support. You know that they had. And so everybody in the NBA felt that, and
Right.
and you know he had an
Mhm.
impact. You know, we used to always question. You know, they would say based off influence, who are the top players, and we always used to take Kobe out. And then when he passed, we was like, oh,
We gotta put Kobe
boom,
in.
boom,
Yeah.
boom. All these people are affected. So he's got to be in, in there. So definitely Kobe. I think one thing was big for me was the stock market crashing, because it was an opportunity, and it was something that came out of no one could have predicted this to happen, and it was something that it happened, and instantly I went into, all right, it's gonna come back. So how do I position myself?
Yeah.
And so it was a real big thing for me because being in different spaces and understanding how it started to work around and started to learn how those things work.
Okay. Putting that education. to
You know,
use.
I mean, I
I
definitely
love
had
that.
I definitely had to kind of put that in because it was really big. Really big for me. But I think probably the last thing for me was the election. And it was very memorable. We had, because I won't lie to you, I was not ever a fan. I always voted.
Right.
Disclaimer,
Right.
I always voted.
Yeah.
But I was one, I didn't necessarily believe that
Your vote
votes
mattered.
counted, because I felt like, how do we know that black voter turnout was low in 2016?
Mm-hmm.
Where does information come from? Who's telling us this?
Right.
Yeah.
So
where they
how do
pulling
we
that
how
from?
do we actually know that this is not false information?
Fake news.
Right. You know, how do we know this? But then we come about, and this year you're actually seeing
Mm-hmm.
the amount of people fly to the polls. You're seeing in different, you're seeing the people come out and say, hey, I've never voted ever in my life, but I'm
Right,
voting.
right.
And then just being around that space and understand everybody was paying attention to this, and it wasn't about, there was nothing about it that was historical in a sense. It wasn't, oh, I'm voting for the first black president, I'm voting for a woman to be president.
Yeah.
This was strictly on
We need some answers, and we need
Yeah.
somebody that knows what
Yeah.
they're
What
doing.
they're doing. Yeah.
and people
We just
were ready.
gotta
So I mean,
figure it
those were definitely one of the biggest. And another one, actually, I won't even add that one.
Okay.
But say, what were your three most memorable?
Oh man, it's just hard to not remember how affected I was by Kobe dying in the middle of the year like that,
Right.
or at the beginning of the year like that, because I'm a dad's girl, and then I'm always with my mom. So to see how that affected, people, men in general that have daughters, how
Right.
that started to kind of, I think it helped people want to start to mend relationships with people or create relationships. So that was one thing. Is that making any sense?
It makes perfect sense
Because I think it started going into that pandemic
'Cause
thing
that's
where
what-
it's like,
that's what I did. I mean, that's kind of, I definitely went into, kind of that evaluating relationships thing. I mean,
Yeah.
and that'll kind of lead us into our next topic. So I mean, I won't touch too much on it, but
yeah.
that
So
that definitely was a thing for me.
That was something that I took from, his passing. Then of course all of the this whole Black Lives Matter movement stuff, all of that started to kind of weigh heavily on me because, I'm from Beaumont, and that's pretty much all I can say about
Big
that.
money Texas.
Big Money, Texas is one of those places where it's just like, man, they just turning the corner to some stuff. And still,
Mhm.
and I'm not saying that doesn't go all the way around the world, but that actually is something that's really, really hard to digest at times. And I have
Right.
to catch myself a lot because I get real passionate about stuff, especially if you tell me something. No, hold on, let's relax, let's pull back some.
Right.
But then, that's that another conversation. Then my biggest takeaway and greatest thing about 2020 was that I finally completed my bachelor's from Texas Southern.
Shout
out.
out. Congratulations.
That
For
was
sure.
probably the best
Real.
part of everything that I did because that solidified my whole decade at that point.
Yeah.
Congrats.
So,
I definitely remember the early part of the struggle.
do you now?
Oh man, I definitely remember the early part of the struggle.
Let's leave the past in the past.
Yeah, I mean, but
Nah, you good, you
it's
good.
definitely something to celebrate. I mean, and it's.
Yeah.
I'm proud of you, friend. I'm
I
just gonna tell you,
appreciate you.
definitely proud
I
of you.
appreciate that.
I
'cause-
mean, but we talk about our memories. I think we were kind of talking about our takeaways, and one of that, like I said, was for me really being able to say, man, relationships matter.
they do.
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely.
And, I started off the year kind of, ending a major relationship. And when I say relationship, I meant a friendship.
Yeah.
I won't say ending. It was just kind of it's not like, oh, I got hate for you, I don't like you. It was just like, understanding that our relationship was now different.
yeah.
And that kind of led me to believe, like, why did we move in that space, right? We moved in that space, and it's understanding what is friendship? What is friendship supposed to be? What's important in the friendship?
Yeah,
And so, I
yeah.
mean, like kind of, Chris, how would you define friendship?
I would define friendship as like a group of people that have each other's backs no matter what, and that are also always open and honest with each other and able to communicate with each other.
Mm-hmm.
I feel. I mean, it's really one of those things. I think interesting conversation. So look, we had a situation the other day where we were talking about PlayStation 5s. All right.
Okay.
Shout out to people who have PlayStation 5. You know, you're
Thieves.
lucky. I got one, so
I got one.
hate on me. But just before we're kind of talking about that, and you know, some people pay the premium.
Okay.
Some people.
Me, I'm some people.
Oh,
I
okay.
pay the premium. All right, and so
Retail price, right?
Retail price.
Retail.
That's why he got a girlfriend, because she did him right. Shout out to Bree. She didn't give me one.
Nice.
But anyway, but no, I mean, just so pay the premium. So I was like, man, so my reason is I pay a little premium. If I can get my hands on another one, you know, I can flip it, make some of the premium back, if not all the premium back.
Okay.
All right. But we still got partners who don't have the system. Right.
Okay.
And so I was like, okay, even if I don't get stuff and I don't flip it for full price, I can sell it to the homie for, you know, maybe $100 more than retail.
Wow.
Right.
Okay.
I can already tell you're not gonna be on my side on this one.
I mean, I have your back.
So my thing is, and Chris
I don't
over
have his back.
because he don't have my back. But my thing is that I don't feel like I was being a terrible friend. The reason I don't feel like I'm being a terrible friend is because I stated my intentions to begin with. If I got my hands, this is what I was gonna do, and also I can sell it for upwards of $1,000
if I want to. But
because you my guy,
This is what we get.
just chunk me an extra 100, and I'll take the L on the rest. Because you can't go get one at this price nowhere.
Okay.
Nowhere.
So
it's not that I'm trying to come up on you. It's I'm saying look out for me like I'm looking out for you.
yeah. So okay. So we ready to have that part of the conversation?
I left some out.
Nah, you ain't leaving nothing out. I'm just wondering, like,
What? What you thinking?
We know what he think. He
He the one.
you-
He the one
you
upset
know it's
about
how
the
the
I'm
one.
situation.
He the one called me a hoe ass friend.
Oh, not the whole ass
Did I?
friend.
You did.
Hall of Fame?
You did.
It gets real in the chat sometimes. It gets real in the chat sometimes.
And when I tell you,
But-
I was
Whole
heated.
ass
I
friend.
was
That is
heated.
funny.
So, here's my thing. Because we're friends. We're all supposed to be friends. And when you friends, you look out for your friends. You do things for friends that you wouldn't ordinarily do for other people. Hence why they're your friends.
Okay.
So, what I would do, and I'm not saying that, I don't know if to me there was a right or wrong, so I'm not going to sugarcoat about it. I think that this was the right thing to do. If this my boy, I talk to him every single day.
Yeah.
We both benefit from him having one.
Yeah.
I have less fun if only I have one. Bruh, all I'm doing is holding your spot. Give me your $400.
And-
I'm
yeah.
just going to click the button that says the order is ready. I don't need to profit off of you. You my boy. All I'm doing is holding your spot. I profit off of you. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
If we don't know each other like that, but if I talk to you every day, if I play this game with you,
I hear
there's
you.
no need to
I
profit
hear
off
you. You're on that. It's the principle of the matter.
So
principle.
Let's
It's
add
just
to,
the principle.
let's
But
add
I
to the
also,
You don't have to add to
disclaimer
the
though,
fact.
I also like he in his part, he probably cared about making a profit. For me,
He does. He was very passionate about that, as we heard in his intro
I
here.
more so care that
He
you
said-
have the product. I want you to have it, and as long as if it costs $4.99.99, as long as you got all $4.99.99, I'll order it for you. I don't need a red cent.
now. Let's add to the fact. I bought mine from my cousin. So I
Right.
paid a premium for
From
my
your-
family because he didn't sell it to me as much as he could have.
Right.
Right. And the fact that he was literally about to sell it and say, hey, I know fam don't have one. Let me call him. So he hit me and was like, hey, I got one. Here's my price. I could have said yes.
Well, I could've-
No.
Yeah.
I
maybe.
didn't have to accept it. But he gave me an opportunity because that's my family. Right.
Okay.
So the fact that I'm saying to you, look, I got one. This is what I want to do with it. But I'm going to hit you first. I ain't going to tax you like I would do everybody else. Just do this for me and we call it even. You say yes. You say no. And we good.
There's a
but-
right and wrong way to love somebody.
Okay, Keith. Okay, Keith.
Preach.
Let's not say Keith because his version was trash. Let's say Mario. Mario's version was better.
You know, I still hadn't heard that version. But,
Oh,
but
man.
yeah, so I'm not saying that you wrong. I just do think that it's based on the principle. I don't see why you should feel bad for your intentions, especially if they were stated. I have to be honest about that.
Right.
If they were stated, then there shouldn't be any room to be like, you pissed on me. You know,
Right.
you know, like you can't be that upset about it. But yeah, I think, you know,
I-
ultimately you didn't have to
You know what?
because
We're gonna let the people decide. People,
he didn't have to.
am I a hoe ass friend? Yes or no? I just need to know. Just let me know.
I think just
Slide
in
in
that
the box.
instance. I just think in that instance. I don't think
It's
in
not
general.
that. It's not that you're a hoe ass friend.
You said
but
it.
This is
It
in
came
hindsight
from
now.
you.
This is
Yeah.
Okay, I'm
revisiting the
listening. I'm listening. I'm
conversation.
listening. I'm
So
listening.
it's not that you were a hoe ass friend necessarily, but it doesn't seem like you went the extra mile to just.
To just
All
be
I'm
nice.
doing is being nice. I'm holding your spot.
Here's the funny part.
Oh,
just holding
The
your
funny part
spot.
is it was a hypothetical because I didn't have
Yeah,
one.
he ain't get it, but
Now you for sure a whole ass friend for that.
we were mad. We were mad because it's
At the
like
thought of me saying
Hypothetically.
I would sell it to you for XYZ. So
if I had it, but
if I
ain't
had
got
it, and so it was.
Y'all don't even worry about trying to don't even question that. If it was hypothetical, just leave it alone.
No, I want to know. I want to know what the people think.
He should-
My
he
thing is
should've
don't
pulled
expect.
up on you for
Don't
that.
expect me to make. Don't expect me to make a bad business decision because we cool.
But do you mix friends in business though?
This is why you don't.
is
this is
a
why you
fact.
that
Every
that
group
accent,
we
you know
know.
what would you say, Chris,
Mm-hmm.
is the biggest fallout of friendship?
Money. So I have a question. So if I asked you like, hey, I work in a place where I don't have no access to a phone.
Right.
All I need you to do is see if you can get these Jordans, this PlayStation, whatever it is. Is that business or is that friendship?
At that point, you've asked me to do you a favor. I got you.
Right.
You didn't ask me. Well, I'm not saying you because it wasn't you. I was never asked, try to get me a system. I just said, oh, you dropped the news. Hey, they going to go on sale. Okay. I'm going to try to get me another one.
So
That's the way it happened.
you're
So, I mean,
opportunist.
so opportunity.
You're an
Oh,
opportunist.
my-
When
You-
we talked about the stock market
Ooh.
crashing, it was an opportunity.
So you're an opportunist.
Hey, don't do me
Not
like
in a
that.
bad way. Not in a bad
Right.
way. That's a great thing.
Yeah, I mean, if the opportunity, but I am not going to do it at the
Expense of
at the
somebody
expense. I mean, that's not. Is money a good reason to lose a friend?
No.
I don't think so, but sometimes it is apparently.
But
I mean, I've lost a couple of friends behind some money,
Here's what I've learned.
and it's just on me on my end.
right. Here's what I've
Not
learned.
Like you
over-
cut them off, or they cut you off.
Kind of like 50-50 because you're not finna charge me up for something I ain't asked for either. When you
Okay.
offer me something, you're not finna charge me up about getting it back to you when I never asked you for it. You handed it to me, so that's a gift. We can go to Judge Judy about that if you'd like to.
Boom,
So
Like
I
the
feel-
people's court if we got to. I'm not finna
that was
deal
the
with
people's
stuff
court
like
actually.
that.
I did
It
the
was.
people's. My bad.
Remember that Nelly song?
I feel, I feel like I've learned this like in my years of dealing with friends and money. I feel like you should not deal with the friend with an amount of money that you cannot afford to lose. So
Fact.
Drake
Yeah.
said
Or
it.
pay back. Or pay back.
or
Drake-
pay back. Or,
Drake said
or
it.
pay back.
Yeah, I
Don't
agree.
live alone nothing
Right.
that you need right back.
So if he
My
come to
mama
me
said that before Drake. did.
asking me for, hey, can I borrow $50? I'm short on gas, whatever the case may
Mm-hmm.
be. I'm not giving you $50 unless I can afford for you not to pay it back. If I do that, if I have no expectation of you returning that, I can't be mad at you and not be your friend.
I mean,
But if it's something where it's like, hey, I'm gonna pay you back Tuesday, and then I'm a person that I don't like to ask when Tuesday comes around. I expect you to be a
because
man
you know
of
you
your
owe
word.
me. You know
Yeah.
you owe
I
me
expect
money.
you to be a man of your word and pay up.
Yeah.
But when Tuesday comes and you don't pay me, now especially if I have to
Right.
see you, I'm looking at you like, bruh,
Right.
you
That's where the
smiling in my
emotion
face.
that's where the emotional stuff comes
What
in. That-
Rihanna say?
I don't know.
Bitch better have my money.
Oh my God.
So, right,
Oh
so
my God.
That's when it becomes like now my friendship is like I'm raising eyebrows at you because I know you owe me and you're
So
supposed to
why-
be a
okay,
good moral
so-
character and you're not even paying me back. Or
So that's
saying
what
that.
it boils down to when we get to talking about this friendship stuff. We always come for somebody's character. And that's why you think it's okay to end a friendship
Because
like that? Or
Jen-
why do we think these friendships end like that?
I mean,
what if
I feel like that's.
I think it's
I don't
wrong.
want to say the word.
I think it's just I
I
think
don't-
it's wrong.
I think it's toxic.
I hate that word.
I know y'all
It's
both
so
do.
overused.
I mean, but I
is.
feel like I feel
Everything's
like this. When we go from money, right? One, my mama always said, don't give nobody, if you give it to them, expect never to see it again. Right?
Yeah.
So if I give you something, now if you tell me you're going to pay me back, cool. Like you said, Tuesday come, I'm not looking for you. You know you owe me.
Right.
And if I don't
That's the one.
if I never get it back, cool. Just know you can never ask me for money again. I'm not going to end our friendship. Just know you will never ask me for money again until you pay me back. And then even when you do ask for money after that, I'm going to say no because I never know when I'm going to see it again. I'm being honest.
That's like some real judgmental ass shit.
I mean, but
I feel like-
I kind of
I feel like
get
all
it.
of that could be negated if the person that owes just communicates. But a lot of times we have so much
They
pride
run
that
from
it's
it.
like, if I owe you $40 and I'm running from you, I could just, we supposed to be friends. I could pick
I
up the
could
phone
be
and say,
able to
hey, I
tell you
know
that.
I was
Yeah,
supposed to
yeah,
pay
yeah.
you on this day, but XYZ, I'm sorry.
But you
I'll
can't
try to make it up
You
to
can't keep
So
hitting
to-
me with that.
Yeah, but to me,
But some people won't do it the once.
Right.
so I think that's probably where we should start putting the word toxic. It's just based on communication.
Right.
I don't think that because it's characters, it's your characteristics and all that type of stuff. It's just how you are individually, and I don't like for people to say, "Oh, you're toxic because you think this particular way." No, I'm who I am. Like, I'm not toxic because of that. That
Right.
doesn't make me toxic. That's letting me know what the hell I'm standing for. It's my
Right.
principle. It's my integrity.
Okay, you're entitled to that.
So why the hell do I have to be toxic because I'm standing in my integrity? Like, what the
But
hell is that?
I think two of the biggest things is people view that toxic is, you're disloyal, you're unsupportive, and I think those are other aspects of it. I mean, I think that's
Yeah.
kind of lumped into you being your toxic behavior.
It was like characteristics.
Yeah, I mean, but I kind of think we talked about money. We talked about the toxic behavior.
It's just terrible.
I mean, okay. So when we talk about disloyalty, like, I think people say that all the time. Oh, I need loyal people around me. Whatever.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
personally, I think people have a false sense of what loyalty is.
I agree.
I mean, because that creates toxic spaces. Because if you expecting me, I've been friends with y'all for
Too long.
over 10 years apiece. I fuck up. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes,
Yeah.
sometimes,
We do.
I'm not the best of friend. I think the fact that we've been friends 10 years and we've been friends for 10 years because of you. Like, you have always reached out and like, we ain't talked to them. Hey, just checking in. And I'm just like, bro, I'm so appreciative of that. Cause look, I be in my own space
I'm glad I get
sometimes.
to hear that.
Yeah,
I'm glad I get to hear that from somebody because I
am
check in
definitely-
with people.
You definitely be checking
Shout
in.
out to
and
you
it's
people
like,
that I keep checking in on, and y'all never check on me. But y'all, yeah, I know. Like, I get it. I get it.
Look, I mean, but it's one of those things, and so so if I asked you, we talk about disloyal, we talk about being unsupportive. I think that's kind
a
of in there.
big
That's kind of
thing.
in there with the
with loyalty.
with
to
loyalty.
Me. Yeah.
Have you ever been the disloyal or unsupportive friend?
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah,
I'll
for sure.
own my whole
For
ass
sure.
friendship. I can.
So you're the real hoe ass friend.
Oh, I can be. I accept it. I can be that person. Like we talked about earlier,
Right.
that lumps into that people always assuming that when you make a decision that it's because you're being selfish. And that's what I don't like, when people lump me making a decision for me into a toxic behavior or selfishness and stuff like that. But you being selfish when you make the decision to not do whatever you do. How is that? Why is there not a double standard to disloyal? But I've always been.
Here's my disloyal, unsupportive friend story. And it applies to multiple people.
I'm sure.
But that's actually why I started a podcast. Unapologetic, unsolicited, unfiltered. I'm going to always give you that. And it's going to always be my 2 cents. This is what I feel.
Okay.
But the problem is, you ain't asked me. It's unsolicited, right?
Yeah.
So sometimes we can have a conversation and or you may even ask for my advice. Cam, man, I'm going through XYZ, man.
Yeah.
What do you think? And I'm like, I'm going to tell you exactly what I think. I think XYZ, blah, 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 blah. Then you don't listen to me. But part of 2020 of the 2020 experience for me was actually learning, everybody don't need your umbrella.
Yeah.
Sometimes people have to get wet in a sense of you went through a journey.
And you did.
You went through an experience. That's how you learn this. So let those people go through it. And it became,
Absolutely.
and it actually became evident when I was talking to you, Chris, and Chris would call me and just,
Y'all have some experiences. Yeah. You
Okay.
too.
All right. Hey, Bree, I'm sorry. Anyway, Chris was going through a breakup, and it was bad.
Aw.
Right? So Chris is kind of calling me, and I've been in that space to where you're in a breakup. I'm sorry, Bree. You're in a breakup, but it's kind of like I don't need to be there, but I still want to be there. And I'm gonna tiptoe over here, but I don't need to be over here. So I'm gonna go back. And I'm over here
Wait,
as
the actual situation, or you being the friend?
No,
I'm talking
about Chris.
Okay.
I'm talking about Chris. I'm sorry, Chris. Sorry, Bree. Why am I apologizing? It's unapologetic.
Yeah, but
All right,
I'm
so
just
listen.
saying,
So we sit up here, and but just kind of. So he's telling me, and I'm like, man, you're gonna be in a space to where you're gonna feel this, and this, and blah blah blah. And he's like, yeah, man, I know, but, and I'm like,
I sounded like that.
yeah.
Damn.
And I'm like,
gave you a
yeah,
real
man,
nice
I know,
voice.
but
Yeah, he kinda holding
and he's going through this whole thing, and so I'm like, bro, you're not listening. I'm like, I'm giving you the answers to the test, and you're not listening. So then that turns into me telling you even more, pouring into you more, and then
so you mad because he ain't listening?
but you know what opened up my mind?
What?
He calls me one day, repeating all the shit that I said to him as if he came up with it. And it was the fact that he had finally came to that realization. And I said to myself, he didn't need my umbrella. I didn't have to protect him from that.
Right.
I didn't have to try to rush his process.
Right.
Just
People
be
should
there.
do that a lot more often.
And so that to me, I was unsupportive of his situation. He might have felt,
Right.
you know what I'm saying? He may have felt support. Did you feel supported?
Oh,
Not
nah.
really.
See?
Damn. See? And so
Ooh,
that is
that's
But
twice.
I wasn't looking
That's
for
twice.
support though. I just wanted somebody to talk to.
and so
Like,
People do need
You know
to
what I'm
understand
saying?
their
Like,
lanes in friendship.
Sometimes when you go to someone about whether you're venting or when you're venting to your
Yeah.
friends about whatever's going on with you, a lot of times you're not looking for them to give you a solution or fix your situation.
You just
Sometimes
wanna
you
hear.
just want an outlet, especially
yeah.
during the times of like 2020, how everything was when
Yeah.
we went on lockdown. And you go from whatever world you were living in to your house
brand new.
every day.
Yeah.
No haircut, no shave,
Just you.
trying to find toilet tissue and Lysol and not knowing when the world is going to come back over
Fact.
again. Like sometimes in those times, you just wanted somebody to talk to because it's you and your thoughts
Right.
all day.
I'm
Yeah.
good. I just be in my thoughts.
Exactly.
That's Misfit Chris. But kind of with
Swag.
that, going into this quarantine,
I agree.
what was huge for me is really, this is going to sound bad, but I had to ask the question, and I'll ask you guys, do your friends come with benefits? And I asked that in a sense of, why are we friends?
Yeah.
I said ending a big relation or changing a big relationship, because it definitely, it didn't end, but changing a huge relationship is like, why are we friends? Are we friends off the strength of it being a decade? What benefit do we provide each other now? Because what the benefit you provided me in college as a 22-year-old, you don't necessarily, I
don't
definitely
necessarily
don't
fit
need that. That don't fit
Yeah.
10
yeah.
years later. So what is the benefit? And I feel like you kind of have to go, just like when you're at work, you have the annual enrollment.
Right. Right.
I think I gotta reevaluate our friendship. Not even annually, but just kind of, what's the benefit? What do you get? What
What do you get from your friendships? Yeah.
We can't go out. We can't hang out. So what's the benefit of us being friends?
Oh,
I
that's
think
definitely.
I
a
think
good one.
that like ties into what do you expect from a friendship?
And-
Because you gotta have expectations to get benefits.
Right? True.
You know
True.
what I'm saying?
True.
Damn.
But you damn.
That was a
is-
word.
Damn.
That is a word.
You gotta have.
That sounds like a record, actually.
I quoted you. That's me.
That's what I'm saying. That sounds like a new record.
But I mean, but when you talk about expectations, I think I'm you know how I think mainly I would expect you to be loyal, be supportive, you know, communicate.
That's really all I expect.
That's the most important.
That's all I expect from anybody.
And I think one of the biggest things for me that I've learned is, especially being in a relationship, not even a friendship, in a relationship, and being in I maybe like being in a adult relationship.
Oh my
Right.
God, yeah.
Understanding that if I can't learn from you, if you can't provide me, I'm really big on perspective. You know, I sometimes I may argue with you just to get your perspective, so that I have a different perspective, so I can gain something from the conversation. I didn't even think about it that way.
Most people think
And I
that's
think-
toxic.
Really, and that's what when we were having the conversation about the PlayStation,
Right.
I was understanding y'all's perspective. I understand why you feel that way.
Yeah.
I didn't feel like you was hearing my perspective and understanding. I wouldn't expect you to make a bad business decision. I wouldn't ask that of you.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So don't ask that of me. And so it's like when you say expectations and friendship, I think that is what is the false sense of loyalty that we were talking about.
Yeah,
Is that
yeah.
people say, "Oh, you didn't have my back." Well, bro, you was wrong.
Yeah.
I'm not
I
gonna
shouldn't have to.
I'm not gonna have your back and you're wrong. But you know, I think we had to learn. People have to learn that you can support your friend even if you don't support their situation.
I understand it,
You know what I mean?
but I don't condone it.
Yeah, I understand how you feel. I understand that you want to go out and
Yeah.
have fights and things of that
Yeah.
sort. I understand it.
But I'm not.
I'm not rolling with you.
I can't be your
I
friend
don't want to go
to that point.
Yeah. So I mean, I think that's real big. And then we kind of speak about that's the growth aspect in a relationship. Really in a friendship. Nonetheless, just growing and understanding that sometimes the ultimate sign of loyalty and support is changing the friendship, maybe even ending the friendship.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Because we don't feed each other anymore. We don't connect the way we did. So it's not that I hate you. It's not that I wouldn't. If you call me today and say, "Hey, I need XYZ," I still got you.
Yeah.
We just may not communicate on the regular. We may not hang out, that sort of thing. So I mean, that's just kind of how I feel when it comes to, friendships and friends with benefits. Because I'm talking about some real life.
Friends suck sometimes.
I be sucking.
Nah, friend, you good. We good.
You sure?
When I deal with you, yeah, we good. When I deal with you, we good.
I mean, I feel it. I mean,
You've been very supportive in a lot of different. I mean, just based on two of the relationships that I've had between 1 decade.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So you've listened to me deal with that bull.
Yeah.
Both sides. And
Yeah.
I've told 120 stories.
Yeah.
To you. So to see our friendship be exactly what it is, and we've had a small space where not that we've ever gotten into it, we just lived in two different spaces, So
Right.
it was just kind of like, you doing your thing, I'm doing my thing, but our friendship was still, hey friend, I'm checking in. You still,
Right.
It
Right.
was always that. So yeah, nah, you're a good friend. Let's just be clear. He is not the hoe ass friend he was.
Yeah, Chris,
earlier.
I ain't no hoe ass
He's
friend.
not the hoe ass friend. that we-
Shit.
but no, I mean,
Nah, you a good friend, bro.
I appreciate it, man. I think that's what hit me. That's what made me the muscles when you call me a whole ass friend. Like, bruh.
I don't even
Yeah,
remember that.
It
bro.
hurts when you get to hear the truth, though.
I think, but
So-
you.
I'm not saying that. I'm just saying in those situations, it always hurts when you have to make that reflection of like, damn.
And
So-
I did because I
so-
started texting everybody, bro. Here's the situation. Am I a whole ass friend?
I'm gonna tell you this.
You
bro.
should even have
On
to
a-
clarify that. You knew
on
that.
This
Like,
this
you
is
do that.
this is kind of me on some self awareness. Something I got to work on dealing with my friends and like relationships and stuff like that. Whenever we get like in the heat of the moment, not necessarily that we're arguing, but whenever a situation occurs to where we're talking about something that we're passionate about, like, all right, I called him a hoe ass friend. I didn't really mean that, but
was just a generalization.
It's just like, but what I've learned over the times, the reason I say I should work on stuff like that is because
Yeah.
like he knows me very well, but he could have interpreted those 3 words to mean something way worse than what I actually meant what I said.
Yeah, yeah.
And that could like cause damage within the friendship or relationship or whatever it is, and it could be irreparable sometimes because some people take things like that very much so to heart. You know,
heart and out of context.
I mean, one thing I hate. Oh my gosh, I won't say hate. Yeah, I'll say hate. So one thing I hate is I hate I'll cut you off type person.
Oh my
That's
God.
me too. I'm horrible with that.
Because it feels like okay, I may have done something that you didn't like.
Tell me.
Can we talk about it?
Just at least tell me, then let me make the decision.
Can we at least talk about it? I just want to have a conversation, even if after that we decide. Prime example, we had a situation. I be having situations with Chris.
Clearly.
I be having
Oh,
situations.
it's
with
me
Chris.
again.
We had a conversation
Sheesh.
about.
You got to
I'm
do
under
better.
fire tonight.
No,
You got to do better, friend.
this wasn't bad, but I had a situation, but literally we had a discussion, and in the group chat about something, and me and Chris and like he called me, and so we talking, and I was just like, you know, we came to an understanding that, bro, we used to think you was playing when you would say these things. I was like, nah, bro, I was legit serious. I was in a depression to not over that, but I was in so like the fact that you affected. Do you remember this conversation?
Yeah.
And it was just like I was in a space that, you know, I really needed y'all, and y'all were.
I can relate to stuff like that.
And although you were there,
yeah.
this is basically my outlet in life at that moment was playing the game with my fellas.
Okay.
Right? Hopping on Madden. And they, speaking of hoe ass friends, they make a bunch of hoe ass moves on the game. Right? And it would affect my enjoyment of the game. And I would get so upset. And I mean like unhealthy level of upset because like, why do you care so much about this? Because I have nothing.
One more.
Oh, Kim. That's where you get that from.
I hate being called Kim. But it was like, but we had a conversation. He was like, bro, I ain't never know you were serious. Like I now, but he was like,
I should be messing
You
up.
should have been more aware, man.
But then he was like,
been more aware.
But he was like, it makes so much sense because I understand where your perspective. I understand where you're coming from. And so I was like, yeah, so I mean that's why I used to get so upset. And that's why and when I got upset about that, I would turn that me being toxic and I would turn that into the things you do in the video game reflects your character.
Yeah.
And this is who you are. And like what?
Okay.
What the hell is it? I don't know.
There's a slight truth to that, but in that case, it was
This guy.
there is a slight truth to that because you some people.
Yeah.
I get it. I hear you.
Yeah. I
I
mean,
like y'all circle. I mean, it makes sense.
you know, so I
At least y'all honest with each other. You know, there's a lot of people I've been meaning
I
to curse
think
out that
that's
I
the
hadn't
biggest
cursed
thing
out.
of how you stay friends with people for a long time. It's
Yeah.
like it goes both ways because you got to be able to be honest with them, and they have to be able to receive your honesty.
I don't think people accept mine.
Because some people are so prideful that they can't. I got this problem. I don't like being told what my flaws are or people telling me what to do. So it's a very few select individuals.
That's because he's an only child.
First of all, relax on
Why
the
you
only
gotta
child.
go
Why
there like
you just,
we-
see? This is how the barrage
So-
is gonna come at you.
There's always somebody with a sibling trying to tell you why you're this way because you're an only child. You see what I'm saying?
I hate that. That is
Like,
probably
how
the
many-
worst
How many
conversation.
days
Don't
were
leave
you
with
left at
So
the
y'all
house by
bonded over
yourself?
being
We
selfish?
will be bonding over
Yeah.
being selfish. Like you're not
You're
gonna
not
just tell
gonna
me.
get us like that.
You're not gonna keep telling me that I made a decision. I'm wrong for believing in my decision. I'm selfish for that. Like that's wrong. Don't tell me that. Just because you had a hard time coming up, don't put me in that shit.
Yeah.
Like don't put me in your
And
bullshit.
but the struggle. This is a whole nother like topic. The
Yeah.
struggles that you deal with as an only child, y'all couldn't relate to. Imagine every day you like, mommy, can I get a brother?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
And it ain't
he
happening.
ain't
It damn
coming.
sure wasn't happening on my end. My dad was done.
Got him, but
He
they
was
ain't.
done.
He was big done.
He was big done. My
I-
parents are 23 years apart.
Mine was
they were done.
Mine wasn't done, but he was
They
done
were
at our
He was done at
house.
your crib.
He was done at my house.
You know what?
So
I feel like I feel like this definitely is a need. We definitely
That's a whole nother
this is not on the playlist for
he
today.
was done at my house.
This is definitely not on the playlist for today. But we gotta talk about this.
That's hilarious.
I mean, but
He was done at
He
your
was done at my house.
hey, but speaking of being done at the house, Trump ass done at the house.
Yeah, Trump out of there, baby.
Trump is out.
Hey, but
Joe
Trump's
is
the bin.
in.
but do you think? Well, no, he's out. He's out.
Oh, he's done.
He's out.
out.
He's gone.
He's out.
He's
He's
gone.
out.
I don't.
He
I
is
mean.
done.
He's out.
I mean, just. I mean.
You don't fear the last week at all?
Somebody better do something. I've been thinking about this man with them temper tantrums all this time. I'm like, this man gonna get us killed.
I feel like
Like everybody's gonna be in trouble.
I'm not trusting until like the final hour. Like,
Yeah.
I mean, we got the inauguration this week.
Yeah.
We're gonna add in, our new president. Like I said, the inauguration. That's Bun B. That's
Hey.
that's 05.
Port Arthur's finest.
That's on the Trill album. Trill. I think that's Trill
It
album.
should be on the trail.
That was on the Trill album.
That's some
Handle
joints
my
on it.
business. It was on that album. Yeah.
That's true.
But we got the inauguration, and I mean, it's kind of. I think. I mean, what are y'all kind of expecting from the inaugural address?
More lies, I guess. I mean, if I had to be honest, they're all still politicians at the end of the day.
Okay. Okay.
They're all still politicians.
I'm expecting more lies, like she said, but I do want to come away with a sense of hope. Like,
Yeah.
after it's all said and done, I'm really more concerned with the action. Like,
That's
the
exactly.
inaugural address is cool, that's cute. You're gonna get up and talk your talk, but like, what them first 100 days gonna look like?
Yeah.
Right. Facts.
feel what I'm saying?
What's put into action?
And I think I hope people understand the position that Joe Biden is in. Understanding that this is the same position. I won't say same position, but very similar position to what Obama walked into.
Very much so.
And walking in and having control of the Senate in your first 2 years is very beneficial to a president. Now, we didn't do a great job of supporting Obama. We were the unsupported friend. We did not support him in 2010, and we lost control of the Senate. And then that's why he got so much done the first 2 years. Then after we lose control, people
That
looking
was
like,
it.
he didn't do nothing. Well, did
He
you
didn't-
vote?
He didn't have no help.
I mean,
Low
help me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Help me. And
But
it's
I think a lot of people lack education about
people
They
fail
do.
government.
voting during those
People
times.
definitely
'Cause-
fail government.
Make sure you research these people in your own city and states. Shout out to like Stacey Abrams for doing what she did.
Right.
The spotlight that she was able to do. That's the importance of understanding who the hell is in your city, who is in your state. You need to know these people
Who
because
these people are.
that's who's going to go help the president, pass all this stuff.
And
I
you have
mean, that's the
people-
simplest way I can put it.
You got people who are in these positions for 137 years and do nothing with them, and they just keep getting reelected off name recognition. And you know what I mean? And it's hard to get those people out. I mean,
Shout
it's
out to
really-
the movie Distinguished Gentleman. Do watch that. That was a very good point.
that boy Eddie.
That boy.
Eddie the
haven't
GOAT,
seen
by
it.
the way.
I gotta
You've
check
never
that
seen
out.
Distinguished Gentleman?
I gotta check that out.
You
Oh,
need to watch
man.
everything in Eddie Murphy's catalog
I gotta check that out.
and even listen to his music because his girl likes to party all the time.
Absolutely.
I gotta check that out.
But I mean, I think for me, I'm really expecting. I want to hear. I want to get a sense that you about to come in and do something.
First thing you need to do is cancel that student debt.
Get my student loans up off me.
Get them off of
For real.
me. For real.
J. Cole said I make a good salary just to pay Sally Mae.
Yes.
That's me.
Yeah.
Actually, I don't pay my student loans.
Sir,
No.
I'm not mad at you.
I mean, I pay them, but I'm not really.
If it's gonna be with me, it's gonna be with me.
I'm not going. I am not
You
in
ain't
a
going
rush.
crazy to pay them.
I'm not in a rush to pay them off because I do definitely think they're gonna get erased at one
some
point,
Yeah.
and I don't want to be the fool to pay them off, and then
well, it's other fools that have.
Yeah.
nah, I don't want to be that fool.
You don't want to be that guy.
And definitely, then I kind of feel like hopefully I'm successful enough to where I can be like, J. Cole and Megan Thee Stallion, and just be like, I make enough money not to pay those things. My credit doesn't matter.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So at that
I
point,
agree.
you'll become petty.
I'll
Cause
just
you
go-
like, I got it, but
Oh,
you
I'm
ain't
I
getting
definitely
got
gonna
it.
become petty.
I got it.
I got more than enough, but
but
nothing
you
to give to you.
ain't getting it. That's what I'm gonna tell them. I'm gonna
That's
even write
fair.
them a note on my payment. Nah, bruh.
not gonna be able to do this.
But no,
that's
I
fair.
definitely want to hear, you're gonna come in and do something. We need to know, what you plan to accomplish.
Yeah.
And at the same time, what is the priority? Because we're still in the middle of a pandemic.
That's the first priority. In that,
You was talking about sending us money. Where my money?
number 2.
You was
Where is it?
You was, all these things that you're kind of speaking about doing, you was going to come in and hit student loans immediately. So, I need to see these things happen. All the while, keep putting that paperwork in old Donald's life. I need all that to happen. So, I'm definitely excited to watch. I'll definitely be, I think I'll be at work. So, but I got the Hulu.
YouTube, bro. Everything's on YouTube.
Everything gonna be streaming.
Everything's
That's
on YouTube.
definitely
Everything will be on
If you miss
YouTube.
something, it's always on YouTube
That's true.
or Twitter.
Twitter.
We
be
know
having-
who's not on Twitter.
Donald.
Now you petty.
Oh, I'm beyond.
That boy is not on Twitter.
He hurt. He ain't on TikTok. He ain't on Facebook.
That man went right back to 1996.
He tried to end. He tried
When
to
there
end
was no
TikTok
such
and they
thing.
ended him.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Folks out here, y'all seen Donnie? No,
Nope.
we ain't seen
They
Donnie.
ain't seen Donnie.
That boy
Ain't
can't
heard
even,
from the boy.
he
That
can't even
man
get on
sending
TV.
pigeons. He's utilizing it. I got to talk to somebody.
He gotta do something.
Bless
But
his
I
heart.
think I'm excited, man. I'm kind of curious to see how things work out. For sure.
Yeah.
I think it's gonna be good. But we're gonna kind of wrap. But before, I gotta give 2 pennies for thought.
All right.
Listen, 2020 afforded everybody an opportunity, right? I mentioned that numerous times. Opportunity. But it kind of gave us 2 things that are religiously wasted. It gave us time and it gave us opportunity. It gave us both. It just put it there. And the thing is, we had to be prepared for it. And a lot of people weren't. A lot of people went into the quarantine and said, "Oh, I'm gonna ride this out. I'm gonna sit tight. I'm going to." It's kind of like when hurricanes come to the Golden
Yeah,
Triangle. People just be
yeah.
like, "Oh, I'm just gonna ride this one out." Like, bro, if you don't go get a generator and some
yeah.
sand and
Or
some
at least
plywood, something like leave, do something. Like, but y'all want to kind of ride it out. And I think a lot of people did that in quarantine. Man, we're gonna go in quarantine for a little while, and I'm gonna sit. I'm gonna chill. And if you were one of those people who waited on your stimulus check, you wasted your opportunity.
Yeah.
If you were one of those people who, didn't take that time to evaluate things, I sat in quarantine and said, okay, so one, as soon as they start talking about it being a pandemic, I wasn't listening to Trump when Trump was talking about, this ain't no pandemic. I'm like, okay, if we get a pandemic, what is that going to look like? We're going to be sitting down. We're going to be still. Okay, so let's prepare, right? My mama always talked about being prepared, right? Being, set up for when things happen, prepare for the worst. So I feel like 2020, I came out good. My 2020 experience was good. We lost a lot of people. We, went through turmoil in this country. We kind of learned nobody wins when the country feuds.
Oh,
We kind of, shout out to Jay.
Shout out.
We learned these things, but we also learned that, the opportunity is up on us to do what we want with it. And I think 2021 is headed in that direction as well. I definitely encourage people to figure out what you want to do. Figure out, this is the time. People want to sit and say, I think one of the biggest, generational curses, we'll kind of talk about that next week, but one of the biggest generational curses is playing things safe. And I think that is instilled in our culture so much that, we give ourselves our own glass ceilings.
Yeah.
And it's but I definitely 2 pennies for thought for you guys. Just look for your opportunity, take advantage of it. Time has no refund policy. You can't get it back. I think it was Wayne.
Okay, Pastor K.
I think it was
Oh,
Wayne.
there you go.
It was Wayne that
There you
said, "Make the most of your seconds. Stay so precious. Because if we could buy time, every store would sell it."
Oh my God.
Shout out to Wayne.
That's probably the best thing I've ever heard you quote by that man since 2005.
Why do you hate Wayne so much?
'Cause
Y'all like Wayne?
She hates him. She's a
I
Jay
hate him
fan.
now.
We had
I
a
hate
con-
him. I hate him now.
Now.
I'll be honest. I was very disappointed, like we always talk about. I was very disappointed with the Carter 3. Just very disappointed.
3?
She's crazy.
Calm down. Calm down.
She's crazy.
3?
But
Yeah.
yet she hates 3,
How
but
can
she
you hate the
loves
Carter
Kingdom
3?
Come.
First of all, relax. I mean, nobody likes Kingdom Come, but just
How do you
just
hate
relax.
the
Except for the
Carter 3?
prelude.
That's like
That's the best song.
next week.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's a next
You
week
should
thing.
start off with why you hate the Carter 3.
Okay, I'm good.
Because we
with
had a
that.
very good connection until I found that out about you.
She's
And
weird.
now I'm starting to question.
Because
things.
she's.
Oh, you don't
she's a
have to.
weirdo.
You don't have to question that. I appreciate.
I thought we
There are still singles on that album that I do appreciate. I mean, it is what it is. You know, everybody has their preference of Wayne, and
This is true.
I
I
don't-
I respect your perspective. I'm just surprised.
yeah, you should be,
Look.
because I really had hope for that album.
Look, you're terrible.
It went platinum in a week.
So
Look.
that's the only thing we're gonna go with.
As we always, as always, I say as always, like this is episode 20. But to end the show, we're gonna add 2 songs to the playlist. My2Centz, the playlist, Volume 1, Apple Music and Spotify. Y'all gotta follow, subscribe to the actual podcast itself,
Absolutely.
right? I mean, show love.
Let's
My
do
two
that.
cents, my 2 cents with Cameron Kegler. That bees me. I mean,
I'm just listening.
I still ain't sure about y'all, but anyway.
Well, hey, that's some
But 2 songs, Sydney. What 2 songs you gonna add to the playlist this week?
shit. I think this week I'm gonna go ahead and add probably War with God. That's Ludacris. Release
Okay.
Therapy. I like-
Okay,
I like that.
now
one.
that was a dope album.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that was actually one of my favorite
Yeah.
Ludacris albums. And then I'll go ahead and Reasonable Doubt This.
Oh gosh.
Regrets. So
Okay,
Okay.
that I'll take.
okay. So you
I mean,
got,
feel it. I was there between. I was debating between Feeling It from Reasonable Doubt, because that's like one of my favorites.
I love that song. So we're cool again. We're good. We're
It's-
good.
Just like that.
Yeah, we're good. We're good.
See, in friendships you communicate.
You communicate.
You communicate.
Yeah, Feeling It is really like the one. Like I think I might,
Okay.
but I like Regrets, so I don't know.
Okay.
We
So
can
Chris,
flip a
what you
coin.
adding on this playlist?
All right, so for me, in the interest of it being 2021 and it being different than 2020, we're gonna go with Lil Durk, Changes, off his
Okay.
new.
Okay.
That's off his new album. I forget the name of it off the top of my head, but it's pretty dope. And then the second one, we're gonna go with a song called Outside. It's by Westside Boogie featuring Joey Badass, and I think that's pretty dope. And those 2 songs I'm gonna add this week.
Okay. I can feel it.
And if you haven't heard them, you will, because they're gonna be on your playlist.
Because I definitely ain't heard it.
I'm with you on that. I'm with you on that one.
I definitely have not
I'm
heard
gonna put you
them.
on something. All
right.
Hey,
I'm
yeah.
going to add to the playlist first week.
Mm.
I'm going to add No More Sorries. That's by Misfit Chris.
Hey, I appreciate that.
We're going to add that. Definitely.
I ain't even add my own shit.
Because
It's okay. It's
B,
okay because you're humble.
that's
Be
it.
humble. Be humble.
That's it.
Humility.
And I'm a good friend. You know, loyalty, loyalty, loyalty. That's me.
That was a really good record
That was
too.
a good
Yeah, it
record.
was. I think I'm gonna add loyalty to the track. I'm gonna add it to the.
You gonna put that one on there?
I mean, because based
That
off
was
of
big
what we
on
talked about,
about
that was
today.
really big.
It really is.
And I think that in every aspect, because our president wasn't loyal to us. Anyways,
He was very much loyal to himself.
Anyways, we'll be back again. Happy MLK Day.
Don't
we'll
forget
definitely wrap.
watch that episode.
Watch the episode of the Boondocks.
Watch
Oh
that.
yeah, definitely.
Tell a friend to tell a friend to tell a friend
To tell another friend.
about My 2 cents with Cameron Kegler.
Yeah.
Definitely, I'm excited. Episode 1 is in the books.
Like, comment, subscribe.
Come and get it. But that's gonna
Click,
wrap it up,
click,
man. You know, as always, we appreciate it. Mike, I ain't introduced Mike, the producer. Mike is my guy. Hey, after this week, next week, Mike's gonna have a mic because I want Mike to talk to y'all
Oh,
through
yeah.
his mic because
We need that opinion, man.
I need that opinion.
I think Mike wants to chill.
He don't get the
Mike is
opportunity.
chilling.
He don't get the opportunity.
Yeah,
That,
he doesn't get the opportunity.
People chilled all 2020. We would not be chilling.
Yeah.
And
Yeah, we will
Changes.
not be.
man, we
Okay, Vision.
let's get out of here.
I guess we can go.
All right.
out.
I
We
was
gonna
having
drop
fun
the-
with you guys, man.
Let's drop the
I
intro, man.
appreciate this, man.
Drop the outro. All right, man. That's been my 2 cents.
Peace.
Peace.